Hey guys, let's talk General Hospital for today, June 22nd, 2026. So we started this episode where we left off on Friday. Nathan has come to Lulu's house and Dante is there and he's telling them that he knows the address to where Rocco is. And so he's telling them and they somehow veer off in I don't like Cassius. Cassius is very smart mouth and he like has this air of superiority that is unjustified or unwarranted. Like but they start talking and they ask him like, did you help Britt escape with our son? Cause you sounded crazy. And because Lulu, she is angry with Britt, but he's trying to protect his sister, I guess. But she is angry because her son is out on the run, basically with this woman that stole her embryo and then tried, it's just a lot. It's a lot there. And sometimes you have to, even if it's someone you love, you have to admit wrong and hold them accountable, and trying to like make Lulu see the good in her is pointless, because for her it'll always be the woman who stole her embryo, carried her son, and kept her son away from her for 7 months. And she is entitled to feel a way about that. She doesn't have to get over it. Excuse me. What is it about people committing like huge crimes and grievances against people, or people having grievances against them for something that they legitimately did, and people feel like you should just be like, what's oh well, they did this to me and I'm over it. And it's not about holding a grudge, but I don't want to deal with this person, and that is perfectly fine. Anyway, then we got Trina, Curtis, and Portia, and Trina being on some foolishness today, because everything that she said that she feels the need to step in and smooth things over. Not that they pressured her or they keep trying to make her smooth things over. She feels the need to do so. And because she feels the need to do so, she wants distance now. And then she said the most stupidest thing that I could think of. She said, Portia asked, well, do you still want me to let you know when I go into labor? And she said, of course. And I'll come visit you in the hospital, but I don't want to hear from y'all until then. Ain't Portia do like tomorrow? Lord, Portia, girl, focus on your new baby, because that one lost cause. She acting like her daddy, and focus on your new baby. That's all I have to say where Trina is concerned, because I'm sick and I'm tired. Sick and tired. Then we have Ava and Ethan. Ethan has gone over to the gallery because he needs to pick up Sunny for he needs to pick up Ava for Sunny. And we all know, as does Ava, know why Sunny wants to talk to her. He wants information on Sidwell. And she's like, talking to him because, as we know, she knows that he is the baby's daddy. Is he even the baby daddy? Because what was he doing with that DNA test? I don't know what's going on with Ethan. Like, I don't know. And it's crazy. But anyway, so, um, excuse me. So he's picking her up and she's asking him, you know, I know what you up to, and she wants payment. It's a whole lot of blackmailing, quid pro quo kind of situation going on in today's episode. Because even with well, we'll get to that. So he is like, I'm just doing, when if it benefits me, it benefits me that, like, not like personally benefits you that a wealthy family is adopting Phoebe, but it's in his best interest or whatever. Not that he's trying to get money, but whatever. Yeah, I don't trust Ethan, and I'm side eyeing him every time he talks. And what's up with him and Ava? But I digress. Then we have Lucy Coe. She goes to the PCPD because she's trying to put a bug in Fitzpatrick's ear about who could have been the other vehicle in the accident that Jordan caused. Because let's be clear, Jordan and Curtis caused the accident. They're the reason her face is messed up. Like, why are we still looking for the other car when she's the one that swerved into their lane? Like, I'm so sick of it. I'm sick and tired of us talking about we need to know who the other driver is when you were the cause of the accident. You were the cause of the accident, bro. Like, stop trying to take responsibility for your own actions, aka Trina. Like, you felt the need to try and smooth things over between your parents. And now you want to punish them because I don't care how many times she says she's not trying to punishment. She didn't. She was very cold. She didn't hug them. She didn't. She was keep that because love is an action, like my friend said. Love is an action, and you can keep that because yeah, I get so sick of Trina. Like, I'm sorry, I just am. Meanwhile, Chase and BLQ are at the house, and she's talking to him as he sings to the baby, and she's like, "Are you trying to avoid Tracy?" And he says it's going to take some time for him to be able to see the good in Tracy, even though he knows that it's there. Boy, bye. I'm trying to see the good in you. But anyway, so then he leaves, and guess where he goes? Straight to Willow's house. Put a pin in that. So meanwhile, Willow is at home. She's talking to Drew, and she's like, the caregiver is on the way. It's gonna be Travis today. She talking to Drew. I know Drew wish she would shut up. So she's talking to Drew or whatnot and what have you. And while she's talking, Sidwell walks in her house basically, and he's like, he's gonna stay there for a little while because remember, he said last week he has some scores to settle and he listed some people. So he's like, I'm going to stay here. And she's like, you can't stay here. People are in and out of this house all the time. And he was like, look, I can give you medicine to keep Drew at bay or what? Like, and she's like, how are you going to do all of that? But then Chase comes over and knocks on the door. And he's like, do you want me to open the door? Because he's a fugitive. Do you want me to open the door? Or are you going to do what I told you to do and basically let him stay there and they can work together on whatever? Because he worked too long and too hard on this project. And Willow opened the door, so I guess Sidwell's staying in her house now. And so he told her to make other arrangements for the kids because Michael was supposed to bring the kids, is one of the other things that she was telling Drew before Sidwell appeared. So yeah. Okay, Willow. And then it's a mess. And then y'all. So why Lucy went back to the Quartermains and she told Brooklyn, all about what happened when she went down to the PCPD. And now Lucy is flipping the script on Brooklyn and she's like, so, a little quid pro quo. I scratch your back. Now I need you to scratch my back. Ain't nothing in life free. My mama taught me that. My mama told me ain't nothing in life free. And if they telling you it's free, it's definitely too good to be true. But yeah, that was that stupid show. I mean, that was General Hospital for today. I'll be back to discuss tomorrow. Let me know what y'all thought about today's episode. And do y'all think that Trina is ridiculous as I agree Hey guys, let's talk General Hospital for today, June 23rd, 2026. So we start this episode at the hospital. Liz is working and Dante comes to see her. And Dante is coming to see her because basically he's there to let her know that they found out Rocco's location and they're going to go get him. And so, he talks to Liz. There's actually, I picked up on the chemistry or tension between Dante and Liz a while ago, like a while ago. And the more that I see them have these conversations, the more I see it for them. But I digress. That's not what we came here to discuss. That's not what we came here to discuss today. But he's there to tell her that, him and Lulu are leaving. And so he confides in her that, he's still angry with Lulu and having to be in such close quarters with her when he's so angry with her is going to be difficult. And she's like, yeah, but you'll suck it up because he mentioned how they have to do it for the best interest of Rocco. So he just wanted to keep her in the loop. And then he also wanted to let her know that if Cullum tries to question her, to do so with Rick, because Rick will, make sure that she's protected and all of that. Although I don't know that Cullum really knows like Elizabeth's connection with uh Rocco and all of that. So I don't know that he would come looking to question her, but you never know. And Dante wanted to look out for his boo. I mean, he wanted to look out for his uncle's boo, Liz. Then we have Lulu and Laura. She's dropping off um Charlotte with Laura because, she and Dante are about to leave, and she actually tells her mother what's really going on and what has really gone down. Now, I know that Laura has told Lulu that she wouldn't tell anyone, but I feel like I know she's supposed to be keeping her daughter's confidence, but I think it would be smart to bring in the grandfather. I'm just saying, letting Sonny know what's going on with the Rocco front and what he has to do with all of this. But she probably won't because, like I said, Lulu told her that information in confidence. She even told her, you can't even tell your husband. Like, this is completely off the record. Like, he can't say anything. But I think it would be in her best interest to do so. But I digress. So then, of course, while Laura and Lulu are having a conversation, of course, Charlotte is around the corner listening to all of this. Of course. Did you have any doubt that she would? So it's only 5 seconds from now that Danny finds out what happened. And those kids be up to some no good again. Because let's be honest, those kids are with their grandparents or with their grandmother. He lives with his grandmother. She's over there with her grandmother now. And those grandmothers both lead busy lives. They're not gonna be checking for them kids, like talking about Danny and Charlotte about to get up to some shenanigans and agains. Just saying. Meanwhile, we find out what Lucy wants from BLQ, and she wants BLQ's shares of deception because she's tired of Tracy having the larger shares, and they try and negotiate, but I don't know what they landed on, like how much of her shares she is she gonna give them, but she did agree to give her shares of deception for her silence. Meanwhile, Michael walks in at the tail end of the negotiation, and she basically tells Michael that, Lucy went to the PCPD to drop a bug in their ear about Willow. And he's like, well, what if this doesn't fall out? And Michael tries his best to get BLQ to see reason and to see if you got to go through all of these hoops, then it's not worth it. But again, she's still not trying to listen. She's still not trying to hear it. She's saying the problem isn't Chase. Chase is too good. No one's that good. That's the thing that Brooklyn doesn't seem to get. Like, it's not about Chase being that good, because Chase ain't that good. Chase do stuff. He lie, hide, and connive just like everybody else, but he does it in the name of good. So he says, but he be wrong. Like, he's wrong about Willow. And that is a problem. And you ignoring the problem isn't going to make the problem go away. But yeah, go ahead, go off, sis. Do what you got to do, because it's going to backfire on you. Because while you're standing over there pretending like what's happening not isn't happening, he's over at Willow's house right now. Why would he even be at Willow's house? He was supposed to be going to work, and he's over there at Willow's house. Speaking of Chase being at Willow's house, they're talking, and he turns down the job or whatever. And she was like, oh, Brooklyn, something. He was like, oh, I made this decision on my own. Of course, I talked to her. Disrespectful. Like, his wife isn't really a part of the conversation, but he, as an actor, of course, I talked to her about it. He's disrespectful to you, Brooklyn, but okay, girl. So she's like, oh, I would have thought you wanted a less dangerous job. So they're talking, and then here comes Fitzpatrick knocking at the door. And so Fitzpatrick wants to ask her about April 8th, which was the date of Jordan's accident. And she is willing to answer the questions, but Chase is like, yeah, no, don't answer no questions. And she was like, well, I gotta go check on my husband first. So she went back to go check on Drew, and basically tell Sidwell he need to leave. And Sidwell like, I ain't going nowhere. And so he decides he's not going anywhere, and he is going to stay. She goes back out. Fitzpatrick asks to go use the bathroom because Chase wants to talk to Willow alone. While they're talking, he goes back and he talks to Drew, who then blinks out, yeah, my wife went home that night. She was on Route 91 and whatnot and what have you. But then they come in and they find him there. And then he asks her, where she was. And she says that she doesn't know, and she has to check with her secretary and then get back to him. And then he leaves and calls to see when Turner's getting out of court because he has a new lead. And then Sidwell's like, are you setting your wife up, Congressman Kane? You know, they kind of like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like, I do something to you, you do something to me, and we go back and forth. I ain't mad at it. Go ahead, people, and go off and kill each other. So then we have Sonny and Ava, and Sonny and Ava are talking, and he's trying to see what Ava knows about Sidwell and where he could be hiding. And then he's like, this isn't about me against Sidwell. This is about me and Avery. Like, you want to make sure that Avery is protected. And she's like, don't bring Avery into this. Girl, I feel like Ava might get brought into this because Sonny's going to protect Avery, but Ava is fair game. But yeah, that was General Hospital for today. We'll be back tomorrow to do it another day. Hey guys, let's talk General Hospital for today, June 24th, 2026. So we started this episode with Emma and Gio there at the pool, and um, James is there and they're hanging out. Emma is hanging out with James. I think Gio is lifeguarding, and so she's hanging out with James and he's working, and um eventually Nathan shows up, and Nathan Felicia comes with James, and I guess they're waiting on Nathan, and they're playing Marco Polo, and Felicia gets a call from Anna, and Anna wants her to come, and she wants her to come and visit her because Anna is up to something. But she tells Emma, and they're going together the next morning. But meanwhile, we got Lucas and Carly. They're at her house, and this is Carly's first time seeing Lucas since Sidwell shot at him, and they did that sting operation. So she finally tells him everything, and he finally tells her everything. And by everything, she tells him, how she snuck into the jail, the prison, to see Valentine, and then how Valentine broke out and he came there and he's been there ever since. She tells him that yes, Valentine was the guy that she was in a relationship with, and how Valentine has gone to Geneva, in an attempt to get help with saving Jocelyn. And she tells him how she knows that Cullum has Jocelyn, at Windermere. In the meantime, he tells her that, how do you know anything about Cullum? And then he tells her that Cullum is the one who killed Marco, which sends Carly over the deep end because she's like, wait a minute, he killed Marco. So if he killed Marco, he is dangerous and he can definitely kill Jocelyn. Meanwhile, Britt and Rocco are away again. And she is feeling much better than she did the last time, and she's thinking it wasn't her Huntington's disease that made her feel ill. It was probably food poisoning. And this is stupid, but because it's probably food poisoning, but he thought it was her Huntington. So he's already called Rocco, and he's already called Danny and Charlotte. To get her Huntington's medicine. He reached out to Nathan, and he goes in to Windermere to steal the medicine. So he thinks, but we come to find out, Cullum has switched the medicine to poison because he basically baited Nathan, and Nathan is too stupid to even realize. Not Nathan. He's not Nathan. Cassius is too stupid to realize it. So he was baited into basically taking the medicine, which is poison, to his sister. I guess he sent it in the mail or whatever. Or whatever he did, because he's not going anywhere. He's still there. But he told Cullum that, after the project is complete, he's trying to leave. Why you think that's going to be your fate is crazy to me. You've been working with these people for how long? I think you know that you're not getting out alive. But I digress. So, meanwhile, Britt is telling Rocco, there will become a time when I will be ill and I don't want you to watch me die. So, I want you to take your passport and leave. And he was like, no. And she was like, that was always the plan. I just lied because I didn't I knew that I needed to get you away or whatever. And he's like, you lied, blah, blah, blah. I won't do it. And then she was like, if you don't do it, if you don't agree, then I'm going to call your mom and tell her everything. Everybody's playing games at this point. Like, kill them all. But anyway, so he's like, okay, I will leave when things turn bad. So meanwhile, Danny and Charlotte are at Laura's house, and she tells Danny, what she overheard from her mom about how Rocco shot Cullum in order to protect Jason, and he wants to go to his grandmother so that she can get Jason back from the WSB because it's just that simple and just that easy. Said no one ever. Every I always thought like kids live in the gray area, but they don't see gray. They see black and white. So to him, you tell the WSB that he was protecting Rocco. What about protecting Rocco? And then also, side note, I have to venture off because I have to acknowledge this. She says they start talking and then they start talking about our brother. But weren't they kissing months ago? But now Rocco is y'all brother. And I know genetically Rocco is her brother and not Danny's. And she and Danny are distant cousins, but still they're family. Like y'all act like we forgot that they was kissing a couple of months ago. Like around the Delilah time. But I digress. I'm just saying. Y'all gonna bring in the sibling factor because they were raised like siblings. Because you forget, like when Sam was alive and Valentine was gone, and Laura was off and on, going and coming. She used to stay with Sam and them for a little while and was like kind of raised with Sam. I mean, with Sam and Dante, and then with Scout, Danny, and Rocco. So like that's how they're siblings. Like, stop playing with me. But anyway, so she's like trying to convince him not to tell, but he is basically like, I have to talk to my grandma because she's going to fix this. Danny, nothing's getting fixed. And then, like I said, then we have Anna. She's in France and she's still crazy as a bed bug, but she's trying to play not crazy so that she can get out. And the doctor was talking to her, and the doctor says that she's Anna is making progress. And so Anna, asks, can she call Felicia? And the doctor allows her to call Felicia. And that's when she asked Felicia to come. And Felicia was like, oh, I can come tomorrow morning because Felicia were always ready to go. And so her and Emma are off to France. And Danny and Rocco and Britt have come to an agreement that when she starts to deteriorate, he will leave. And Charlotte and Danny are at odds, and he's just basically going to go tell Alexis. What Alexis is going to do, I don't know. And then Carly and Lucas have determined that they're going to wait. If they don't hear anything from the WSB, any movement from the WSB by tomorrow night, then they're going to storm Windermere and get Jocelyn back. They're going to Windermere and they're not leaving without her. How y'all gonna do that? I would like to see, but that's where we are. But yeah, that was General Hospital for today. It was pretty dry. But those kids get on my nerves because those teenagers, they think they know everything, but they don't have a clue. But yeah, that was General Hospital, and we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, I believe. So we'll be back to see what's going on tomorrow. We see in the preview how Jordan is going to make herself an enemy of Sidwell. Hey guys, let's talk General Hospital for today, June 25th, 2026. So we started this episode with Willow and Laura at the MetroCorp pool. And Willow is funny to me because she acts like she's like, oh, rainbows and lilies and flowers and butter won't melt in my mouth. And she's just like, Laura, I look up to you. And all the while, like, she is hell on wheels. And most people, for the most part, don't know that. And I'm just like, it's kind of crazy. It's like funny a little bit, but then at the same time, it's kind of crazy because this girl is crazy, and y'all don't even see how crazy this girl is, and that's scary that she's crazy and no one sees it. But also at the pool, we have BLQ. She's there with Phoebe, and she's looking at Geo because he's there lifeguarding. And she's talking to the baby or whatever, and she sees Willow over there with Laura, and she's like, "Oh, Phoebe, look, that's the lady that's trying to steal your daddy." And I'm like, "Oh my God, don't tell the baby that." But also at the same time, yeah, tell the baby that because that lady is not to be trusted. But so Laura is there, she's telling Willow how she has a knack for um public service and whatever, and she's like, I always think about what would Laura do. Like, what is going on here? What alternate universe of crazy are we on? Because this is insane. Willow is insane. And I'm ready for everybody to see the truth about Willow. Like, it's time. It's past time. Because what is happening? When she was talking to Laura, I'm like, I was sitting here and I'm literally looking like, what is happening? But so she's talking to Laura. BLQ is watching her, and Laura gets a phone call, and she has to step away to take the phone call. Phone calls from Jordan, I believe. And she steps away to take the phone call. And when she steps away, Willow comes over and she's like, "Oh, that's Phoebe. Can I hold the baby?" Girl, go somewhere. Nobody like you. But BLQ has to keep up the facade. Meanwhile, I'm gonna bounce around today. Meanwhile, Joe and Justine are at the PCPD, and he's talking to her because he wants to get a warrant for Willow's car. But at the same time, he may not have enough evidence to do so. So he's trying to tell, Justine all about the situation with Drew. So he tells her about how he went over there to question Willow, how Willow was willing to talk at first, but then Chase stepped in to stop her from talking, and then he went in and talked to Drew. And she was like, well, Drew could see how lacking she is in the character area, and he could be trying to set his wife up. He's talking. So they end up getting the warrant. So remember I said that they at the pool. Meanwhile, Curtis was at home. He was leaving out because he had a meeting with Willow at the pool. So he was leaving out, and Jordan was looking over Sidwell, her paperwork from when she worked at Sidwell, trying to see if she can figure out where he went. And he's lying to her, telling her if anybody can find anything, it's going to be you. Jordan can't find anything but Portia's business. If it's not Portia's business, she can't find out about it. I'm just saying. But that I digress. So he leaves out and he goes to his meeting at the Metro Court pool with Willow. So he goes to go see Willow, and they're sitting there and they're having their chat. And he's like, "Oh, she's doing some kind of like child care initiative," and he's like, "This is going to be great. Yeah, I guess you're gonna need child care too." I'm Baldy. Anyway, I hate Curtis. I can't even believe that I used to love that he breathed the same air as Portia. Because now I can't stand him. But anyway, so he's having his meeting with Willow, and here comes Joe with his warrant. Now, all I'm going to say is Curtis was sitting there when Joe said that we want to look at your GPS on your car to see if you were on Route 91 during Jordan Ashford's accident. Let's see how Curtis acts. Because Curtis should be outraged, right? Because he thought it was Isaiah. And I already know the answer to this question because I already know the answer to the question because I saw the preview for tomorrow. But your smoke for Isaiah should be waning if it's really about him running Jordan off the road. But we all know that ain't it. Meanwhile, um, um, Joss is talking to Cassius and she's trying to, get him to give her a gun or, something to help her get out. And he's like, I can't do that. I'm going to make sure that you get out. And she's like, how can I trust you? You don't keep any words. You've been lying to everybody since you was here. She kind of read him down. And I was like, yes, Joss, go off. Because, yeah, why would I believe anything you saying? And then, like, also, not even that he's being malicious with it, but he is a bit, like, delusional himself because he actually thinks that Cullum is going to let him walk away after all is said and done. You really think that? Okay, go off, son. Go off. So, yeah, they're going back and forth. And then he tells her that he's going to keep his word. And when she's alive at the end, you'll see that I keep my word. Okay, well, we're going to keep waiting. And then we have Alexis. She had to come down to the PCPD because Danny tried to break into the WSB because he wants information about Jason. And this boy is going to drive that lady back to drinking. She going to be drinking again because she was about to throw that chair. She was like, boy, what is you doing? And I don't think that he is going to listen because he's like, I got to do what my dad would want me to do. But I don't think he's going to do what his dad would want him to do. I think he's going to be up to something because these kids is bad. Then we have Britt, Dante, and Lulu have their confrontation, and they're there to collect Rocco, but Rocco refuses to go because he says he's not leaving without Britt. And he tells Britt, that I called the Danny and Charlotte so that they could talk to your brother so that we can get the medicine. And of course, I should have known that your brother was going to tell my parents where I was. I'm sorry. And she's like, it's okay, because he was trying to look out for her. And so he's saying right now that he's not leaving unless they can take Britt with them. And they're like, Britt can take care of herself. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going. I'm staying, and you. Okay, anyway, so then we have Tracy and Chase, and Tracy is trying her hardest to get Chase to understand, but Chase is stupid. So she's like pleading with him to like put his family first, and he still don't get it, right? So he goes to the pool to go see Brooklyn and Phoebe, and he's like, yeah, I need to take a step back. Um, you know, and focus on what's important to me. Then Joe walks into the pool area and he's like, what is he doing here? All of what he just said 2 seconds ago went out the window. There's no hope for Chase. And this is getting good to me. But yeah, that was General Hospital for today. We'll be here tomorrow to finish out the week in stupidity. Bye. Hey guys, let's talk General Hospital for today, June 26, 2026. So we start this episode with the ridiculousness. I just can't stand the bald menace. Like, I I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with this. Like, all I can say is I was right. But other than that, he's ridiculous. What was I right about? I was right about this not being about Isaiah leaving him and Jordan on the side of the road. This has absolutely nothing to do with this accident. If it had anything to do with the accident, he would be more than willing to follow another potential suspect. But we see today, when faced with another potential suspect, he's like, it absolutely can't be her. And it's absolutely Isaiah. It's Isaiah because you say it is Isaiah. It's Isaiah because Isaiah's the one in Portia's bed. And that's just the reality of the situation. I don't know that he even realizes that's what's going on. But then the ball menace, he do be knowing too. He could be very well aware of his thought process. He's trying to get Isaiah out of Portia's life. So he thinks that if he can prove to Portia that Isaiah left him and Jordan on the side of the road, then she will break things off with him. And then he gets to have his cake and eat it too. And he can be over there with his baby mama and then slide back to Jordan. Like, Curtis, you're not low. We see you. We see you. And I don't even know that he even has that much affection for Jordan anymore, because he's seeing this whole when there's a baby involved, a child involved, you start to feel things that you may not have felt prior to the baby coming into fruition. And so things may have changed for him because Portia is pregnant. However, Portia has moved on with her life, whether I like it or not. I don't mind Portia moving on. Let me say that. It's just I have my own personal feelings about Isaiah and the actor that plays Isaiah being the same age as her son in real life. But that's just my issues. But she's well within her rights to move on, right? Like, it's not that, like, all right, especially considering the fact that he has moved on with that woman of his. Like, Curtis, please jump in all the lakes. But anyway, I went off on a tangent. I do apologize. Let me get through this. So, what has happened is, as we see, Joe is serving Willow with the warrant for her GPS information on her vehicle. So they go back to the PCPD to assess that information, and Chase is chomping at the bit to go over there and play Willow's rescuer. And Brooklyn sees it and then goes and suggests that he goes over there because she can see he wants to be. She's so stupid, girl. I just Do you see that Chase is the problem and not Willow? I don't know. And I'm just so over it. Like, girl, please go ahead somewhere, because you being stupid and Chase is dumb and I'm tired. So Chase goes down to the PCPD and he thinks that he's somebody because he tells Joe that the DA has it out for Willow because she lost her case against Willow. And then he goes in and he tells Willow, did they read you your rights? Oh, then you not arrested. You can leave. And he's trying to take her out of there. And then the ball minister came down there and he's talking to Nina. And then they say that the GPS put her within the vicinity of Jordan's accident within seconds. Curtis standing there looking stupid. Everybody looking stupid. Even though we know that it was actually Brooklyn, it's still it's good because either way, it wasn't Isaiah, and Curtis is there to witness it and look stupid because you're looking dumb right now, Baldy, real dumb. So I just crazy. So then we have Jordan and Laura, and they decide that they need to, bring the PCPD in, um, to, look into the address that they found. So they call in the PCPD, but we see earlier Justine tells Nathan that she wants him to take point on trying to find Sidwell. Why would we put the person who was with Sidwell when Sidwell got away on the lead to finding Sidwell? That's crazy, but I digress. So they send Nathan over to Jordan. When Jordan calls, Jordan goes over there, and they give him the information, and he makes a call to have the PCPD search that address. But then he calls, if we saw the preview, it looks like he called Cullum to tell him that we have a Sidwell problem. And then Sidwell is like, we have to make sure that he doesn't leave that house alive. It's crazy. Anyway, then we have Charlotte and Nina. They finally have their confrontation about, you know, using Charlotte to get to Valentine, and um Nina is really sorry, and I felt bad for Nina today. But as she's having a conversation with Charlotte, she gets a phone call from Willow saying that she's, at the PCPD. And so she can't finish the conversation with Charlotte and has to go be with her daughter that's always in the midst of drama and go be with her. And, once she leaves, Danny comes over, and, Charlotte feels a way about Danny for, taking the information that she gave him because she felt obligated to him, but then he was want to do what he want to do. And so they kind of argue again, and he's leaving. But as he's leaving, Cullum's man comes to abduct Charlotte. However, Charlotte was about to fight, yo, because Charlotte said, "You ain't gonna take me easily." She was about to fight, but Danny came and hit the dude on his head, and knocks him out, and she's able to run. Valentine, you trained her well. And so then we have Emma, Mac, and Felicia. They go to see Anna, and they're talking with her doctor, talking about when to take Anna home. And the doctor is like, while she has shown improvement, I'm not yet comfortable with her going home. She still needs, has work to do before she can do that. Meanwhile, Emma is telling Anna all about, her life with Gio and all of that, and back in Port Charles. And Anna tells her that she kept all of Emma's letters or whatever. Then she asks to speak with Felicia alone. And so Felicia comes in, and she's like, "Felicia, I understand why you did what you did." And Felicia's like, "Yeah, that was the hardest decision I ever had to make. But, I'm your friend, and I care about your well being." And she was like, "You did the right thing, for the time because I was not well, whatever." And she's like, "But I need to know that I can trust you because she has something that she needs to tell her." And she tells her that Nathan is not who he says he is. I don't know how Anna knows this information yet, but Anna is exactly right. He's not who everyone thinks he is or who he says he is. And we all know that, the audience. So let's see what Felicia does with this next week. Actually, while I was recording this, I just got the spoilers for next week. But yeah, that was General Hospital for this week. My suspicions are confirmed, Baldy isn't upset at all about being left on the side of the road. He's upset that Isaiah is in Portia's bed. But I'll see y'all next week. Be safe this